Now most people think that the West was won with cowboys and their horses and guns. But they don't realize that the way it was done was with Pete and his 45 caliber pun. Now Pete was a cowboy who'd shoot from the lip, and all of the baddies from town would skip. They'd skip their roast, they'd skip their dinner, and Pete would move on to the next lawless sinner. He'd say to that sinner before he could draw, "Here's paper and pencil now, draw me a door, and leave this town through the door you just drew, or I'll shoot a pun that'll blast right through your chest of drawers and out your ears of corn, and you'll die laughing with no one to mourn." And so that sinner, he was on the run, 'cause of Pete and his 45 caliber pun. And then old Pete would pack up his pun. He'd steer his horse to the setting sun. Yes, he had a son who was setting the table with a place for the horse so that they'd be able to be 3 instead of 2. And the West was 1, which added up to 4. So when dinner was done, 4 could play bridge until the bridge fell down. Then Pete would move on to the next wild town where no one had heard of the damage he'd done. Pete and his 45 caliber pun. Now finally, the outlaws couldn't take it no more. Pete and his pun, they were worse than the law. They were left to die laughing, and sometimes they choke. Pete and his pun were the worst kind of joke. And the outlaws all left or retired their guns. And that was the truth, how the Wild West was won. And sometimes at night, when the full moon is young, you can hear Pete repeating his 45